Did you come across any attacks?
Yes, most definitely. I saw some of our trucks explode for driving over IEDs, which were like explosions placed underground, and if you stepped or drove over them, the outcomes are not always good. As well as shootings, there are people who just shoot you, and that in that case we can shoot back. I was never personally shot at, but other soldiers like a foot away from me were just having what and we just have to know how to react in these situations. Um, that is where your training comes in hand.
When you weren't on your feet, what would you do on your downtime?
Downtime was like a break for me in the army, depending on your rank and other things. That is what you do. That made no sense since I had been in the army for a very long time. I have earned the opportunity to be a leader of a group of like 15 soldiers. So when we had downtime, I was seeing if all my guys were visible, if everything was okay. But I would eat if I could check up on any news we have received from our captain, which controls all soldiers and all soldiers like me. Sometimes we got to our cabins and relax and take a breather before returning. And every soldier does something different. Hopefully that made more sense.
Okay, and how long were you in Afghanistan?
I was there almost 2 years, but I think I was like a year and 7 months.
And were y'all able to end the terrorism in Afghanistan, or did it continue in any way?
Almost not everything can end, but we just wanted to say we were not playing at playing, and we will not let it happen again. I served in Afghanistan once, and that was directly after the 9/11. For the most part, my terms were in Iraq.
And while switching the subject, can you briefly explain the Iraq War?
It was a war to end Saddam Hussein and his government. Saddam made mass destruction weapons that were planned on using to destroy the world. Uh, this war was called Operation Iraqi Freedom. Our soldiers' main mission was to capture and kill Saddam Hussein and his partner Osama bin Laden, who planned the terrorist attack. And when I was serving my terms, I guess you can say we both were similar as far as keeping. Well, you can say they both were similar as far as keeping our eyes open because you don't know what could happen next.
And can you tell me, do you think which war was most deadlier, the Afghanistan or the Iraq War?
I would say the Iraq War because there were more um, unplanned explosives, and it was with you were fighting against people that had no um, uh, care in the world what happened to you.
And what do you mean by unplanned explosives?
By basically just planting bombs anywhere you could to kill you.
And um being on these terms in both Iraq and Afghanistan, was there ever a time where you could come back and be with your family, or was it being over there the whole year and 7 months, or 2 years, or whatever it was?
Um, yes, if you were lucky, you were given 2 weeks of vacation, and luckily I was lucky because I was given a 2 weeks vacation to come and see my family.
And is it like a two vacation during any time period, or is it like during a certain holiday, or can you choose? Is it just all they just tell you and you have to go along with it?
No, it's not. If you can choose what days you want to go home, it's just basically if you're chosen to go on a vacation, um, whatever day that is on, you go visit your family.
Okay.